And last, I'd like to bring up someone who has been fighting on the forefront of TIC homeownership opportunities, and for years, the co-founder of an organization, Plan C, that has been intimately involved in this debate for, I believe, a decade at this point, and a good friend, someone I'm proud to call a good friend, Mike Sullivan.
Thank you, Mark. And Mark's right. We've been at this for a decade now. And as someone that's been in the trenches and working on the fight for first-time homeownership for a decade, trying to help not homeowners, we've been trying to help renters, trying to help tenants become first-time homeowners. We've been at this for a very long time, and it's easy to get caught up in the speeches. We've been giving the same speeches for a decade, and folks who've been fighting condo reform have been giving their speeches for a decade. And that's why I think it's so helpful to have people like Leah get up and tell their story. Because this is really about San Franciscans, real people, real individuals who are hurting and struggling. People who are suffering under huge interest rate loans, paying thousands and thousands of dollars to banks instead of spending it on their families or spending it at the local hardware store. These are people who are unable to refinance when others with mortgages are able to do that. These are people who, in many cases, are actually at risk of losing their homes as a result of the problems of TIC ownership. We in San Francisco have always been the city that tries to help when people are in need, and especially when it's a housing problem. In the 70s, the problem was rents were spiking, and so the city acted. The city adopted rent control to help those people who were in need. In 2006, there was a different problem that was perceived by our city. It was evictions. And the city acted again. The city acted to change the laws around condo conversion to prevent people from converting if they've cleared buildings by evictions. So we helped those people as well. They were hurting, and the city changed the law to help them. Well, now the people in need are the first-time homeowners who have bought their homes through TICs. They are the people in 2012 that need help. And they are just as much a part of the city family as anybody else. And they are hurting. And it's hard to be a young family in San Francisco. There's something the city can do that's very easy. We have a big problem here. And it's rare that you have a problem where it's so easy to fix the problem. The city can flip a switch and help thousands of young families stay in San Francisco without hurting anyone. And I'm really hopeful. We have a different board of supervisors now, and I'm hopeful that if this board hears from enough people like all of you, they can hear the human stories and why it's hard for people with the status quo and how easy it would be to change the law and fix the problem and help these families, that the supervisors on the second floor of this building, they listen to these human stories, that they may just sort of step back for a second and say, yep, I've been on this side of this issue for a while, but I think I'm going to listen to this story, and let's do something to help these people, because it's not going to hurt anyone. We've got tenant protections in place. We're taking one form of ownership and changing it to a different one. This is a real opportunity to step back and address a human problem with a very simple solution. So I want to thank Supervisors Farrell and Weiner for their leadership. Very much appreciated. I want to remember them when they need help down the road as well. And I want to ask everyone in this crowd to try to do everything that you can over the next weeks, hopefully not months, to reach out to people that you know. Because we know there are thousands of people that are affected by this legislation. And we need all of you to reach out to them. And I see lots of groups. Plan C is not the only group that's working on this issue. I see other groups around me, other leaders, small property owners. The realtors have been fantastic with their leadership. If you haven't given your contact information to one of these groups, please do it. Please come up to me after this meeting. If you haven't done so, we need your help. And I'm optimistic that this may be our chance. We've been at this for 10 years. I think there's a different wind blowing in City Hall thanks to leaders like Scott and Mark. And with all of your help, this could be the year that we finally get it done. Thank you very much.